Welcome again to Joe Stunner Boxing. We've been hearing a lot about British heavyweights over the last week, what with the Fabio Wardley, Fraser Clark aborted fight, the purse bid farce and so on. And on Friday night, there was a very entertaining York Hall card by Queensberry, and again, I mean, it unfortunately ended in a big riot. A load of bloody idiots chucking chairs around, and some guy got knocked out, and these bloody idiots, these fools, get rid of them. But anyway, it was a good card up to that unfortunate conclusion. You had a spectacular knockout by Alyos Junior against Hosea Burton. Willie Hutchinson scored a very good, picturesque knockout as well. And further down the card, I think it might have even been the first card that was televised, there was a heavyweight called Alyos Junior, and this is a guy trained by Ben Davison, and he was in against a guy called Borna Grcic from Croatia, 26 years old, came in with a 3-2 record, and all his two defeats were stoppages in the first three fights of his career, but he won his last two against very, very low-level opposition. But he looked like a guy. You saw the introduction. You thought Alyos Junior. His real name, by the way, is Yumbi, Alyos Yumbi, but he goes by the surname of Junior. You thought this guy's going to blast this Croatian guy out of there. This Croatian guy is a patsy. He's a fall-over guy. He's one of those guys who Moses Atama beat up in the first two matches of his career, and especially when you consider that Alyos Junior is a stocky-looking so-and-so. He's only 20, real carved from marble, but he's only 6 feet tall. So he's very squat, very powerful looking, and Mr. Grcic from Croatia looked like a, out-of-shape cruiserweight, to be honest with you, which he probably is. And in the first 20 seconds, the fears of a quick night, of a very, very uncompetitive fight, were accentuated because over goes Grcic. Borna Grcic is his name. He goes over from a jab, and he's flat on his back. He's not hurt at all. He gets up, and you think, well, the writing's on the wall. Alyos, Mr. Yumbi, Mr. Junior, he comes forward, trundling forward, throwing very mean-looking punches, clearly looking for a knockout. And at the end of the first round, Grcic, even though his attacks are very, very crude, when he gets in close, he has a go. He lets his hands go. And he didn't stun him or buzz him, but he rattled Junior and pushed him back to the ropes. And Junior held his hands, put the earmuffs on, but he was on the ropes. And right at the end of the first round, Grcic was letting his hands go. And was, he pushed him back. He legitimately pushed the much stockier, fitter, more ominous-looking guy back. When the second round, Junior sort of picked up where he left off, but he wasn't having it all his own way with Grcic. Grcic was moving an awful lot. Again, no real skill in attack, but he used his speed, his mobility to sort of stay out of trouble. I thought Junior clearly won the round, but again, Grcic looking like someone who could take Mr. Junior, Yalumbi, the distance. He was going to ask him some questions. Then in the third round, we didn't need to ask any questions because bang, huge left hook within the first half minute, and Alyos Junior clean knockout, very, very clean knockout of Borna Grcic in about 24, 25 seconds, something like that, 30 seconds. It was a real savage knockout, and Grcic was on the floor for about 5 minutes, given oxygen, rolled onto his side, sat on his stool. Eventually he was okay, which is great. But it was a big left hook that flattened the Croatian guy. And even though at 20 years of age, Alyos Junior has an awful lot to work on, especially defensively, and even though he's going to struggle because of his lack of height, he's 6 foot tall, and he didn't look particularly fast. The combination punching was not really there. This is all stuff that can be worked on with a 20-year-old. Only 20, don't forget. Let's emphasise that. Nevertheless, despite his limitations, which may remain despite all the training that Ben Davison does with him, he looks like a fun fighter, a fun guy to watch fight. Because even though Grcic, as game as he was, very, very low level, I think if you give Alyos Junior the right schooling, bring him on nice and steady, no hurry, a few more fights at the York Hall maybe, or maybe take him abroad to fight deep on an undercard just to get some experience under the lights. I think the guy can be a good addition to the British heavyweight scene. There isn't a lot of apparent, dazzling talent there, but of course hard work can beat raw talent if talent gets lazy, and it's up to Junior to sort of prove, well, I'm here, I'm serious, I'm here and I'm serious. And if he does that with, some decent power and a style that is kind of, quite aggressive, I think he can be an entertaining domestic level fighter. So I think this fight's on BT Boxing on YouTube. Go and have a look at it. It's worth watching for the knockout. Knockout's lethal, believe me. And tell me what you think. But yeah, as always, leave your comments below. Thank you for listening in, and subscribe to the channel if you're new. Hit the subscribe button. It takes you a second, costs you nothing. Like the video as well if you liked it. That helps us out a great deal. Spread the word about Joe Stunner Boxing. We want more subscribers. We want to build this channel up. And don't forget, leave your comments below. I always enjoy reading them. Anyway, for now I'm out. Enjoy the rest of your weekend, and bye for now.